Hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar in the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and today is Moon's Day, also known as Monday, August 22nd, 2022. So, what happened on this date, you may ask? Well, I will start us off in the year 392. Arbogast had Eugenius elected Western Roman Emperor. Huh. Oh, and in 565, St. Columba reported seeing a monster in the Loch Ness. So wow, all the way back to 565. Actually, let's see here. First sighting of Loch Ness monster. Yep, August 22nd, 564. So this is it. Moving on up, one heck of a time jump here into 1485. The Battle of Bosworth Field. Henry Tudor's forces defeated English King Richard III during the last battle in the Wars of the Roses. Richard was killed, and he was the last English monarch to die in battle. Wow.
What year?
1485. Now, you just missed it, but I was reading earlier here, 565, St. Columba reported seeing a monster in Loch Ness.
What?
Yeah. Nessie!
Yeah.
So then I looked up, first sighting of Loch Ness monster. This was it.
I'll be darned.
So, yeah.
It's been around a while.
Yeah. A really old monster. 1543, Emperor Charles V's army occupied Burin. Alright. 1582, King James VI of Scotland was captured. Uh-oh.
Doesn't sound good.
No. 1632, Prince Frederick Henry, Prince of Orange, occupied Maastricht.
What?
Whatever Maastricht is. What is Maastricht? Let's see here. It's a city in the Netherlands. Okay.
That'd be a place.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where he was back then, on this date. 1770, James Cook's expedition landed on the east coast of Australia.
Yeah, James Cook.
Okay. 5 years later, 1775, King George III proclaimed colonies to be in open rebellion. Yeah.
Pretty much work.
Yeah.
You know, just to bring it up to date, to equate, the founders, the reason why the search seizure is specific and not general is because the royal, the Brits would have general search and seizure papers granted to them, and they go in and search anything you have, your person, your business, and they didn't have to tell you anything, why they were looking for anything. They just could do it once they had the document.
Yeah.
So the founder said, no, we have to be very specific on searching people. It just can't be generalized.
Yeah.
So they really put it in the Constitution to protect people.
Yeah. That worked really well with Mar-a-Lago, didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's my point.
Yeah. 1798, French troops landed in Kilcumin Harbour in County Mayo, Ireland. County Mayo. Like mayonnaise. Pardon me. To aid Wolfe Tone's United Irishmen's Irish Rebellion.
I hope you don't like Mary Quip like my brother does.
Ugh. God. Well, I mean, just don't add peanut butter to it either.
Oh no! Now you're off the track. That's fantastic.
You are disgusting. So.
One of the greatest things I miss in my life is peanut butter and mayo sandwiches. I don't eat peanut butter anymore.
1864, First Geneva Convention adopted in Geneva for the amelioration of the condition of the wounded in armies in the field, signed by 12 nations. So what is this? Amelioration. Amelioration. The act of making something better or an improvement.
Oh,
okay, so for the improvement of the condition of the wounded and armies in the field. Okay, yeah. So, the First Geneva Convention. So I guess this is the start of like, don't shoot medics, stuff like that.
Or using gas.
Well, gas was a whole different story that
true.
we still use to this day. The United States breaks every law that we've ever, founded or signed off on or something. Like, anyway, 1894, Mahatma Gandhi formed the Natal Indian Congress (NIC) in order to fight discrimination against Indian teachers in Natal or traders in Natal. Good.
Yeah.
1902, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt became the first U.S. chief executive to ride in a car. Hey, nice.
Yeah, that's funny.
Dang.
1902, huh?
Yeah. Let's see here. Roosevelt in a car. In car. Let's see here. Images. Yeah, I see him in the back. I think that's him right there. I can see his mustache. So, but there he is.
Well, there's a lot of photos of him, but I don't know which one's the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still, he's in there. So that's the. That doesn't look good. The wheel's all broken. Look at that.
Yeah.
Whoops.
What happened with the horse?
No, the horse, you just got to shoot it,
Yeah.
1914, during the First World War, von Ludendorff and Paul von Hindenburg moved into East Prussia en route to Russia. So, because when World War I broke out, the Germans and the Russians were immediately fighting.
Yeah.
Now, in World War II, it was later, which is, it's kind of like, it flipped on its head.
Well, they had had a pact between them, Russia and Germany, and of course, Hitler broke it.
Well, he did that because of the Balkans, because the Soviets were eyeballing the Balkans too, and the Germans wanted it, and so Hitler and Stalin, they both knew eventually they would come to blows, and Hitler just did the first hit. So with Barbarossa. 1921, J. Edgar Hoover became assistant director to the FBI.
Assistant director. He was the director of the FBI forever.
He was the first director of the FBI, right there.
Oh, I didn't know he was the first.
Yeah, first director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
So how did he become an assistant director if he's the first director?
Probably like step down, like.
Yeah, but if you're the first director, there's no director before you.
No, but there can be a director after you, and then you can, take a demotion,
Yeah, 1921. Yeah, he ran the joint. I don't know. When did he become director? Let's find out that.
When did...
I wield a bunch of power, I'll tell you.
Start the FBI. May 10th, 1924.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, he was 29 years old.
Yeah. And he was, when did he retire? You look at that, he's been there 50 years. He's into the 60s, I think.
Hoover retired 1972.
Yeah, 72. 24 to 72?
Yeah. So 37 years. Oh wait, he didn't retire, he died.
Oh.
He remained director for another 37 years until his death in 1972.
Oh, okay.
So
he died in 72.
Yeah.
So 30 years from November.
Yeah. Moving on up to 1927. Here we go again. Yankee slugger Babe Ruth hit 40th home run during his Major League Baseball record 60 home run season in New York's 9-4 loss to Cleveland Indians at Dunn Field. 1933. Bill Veeck urged midsummer interleague games at a split season misdemeanor. Wow.
I don't even. What did he play?
MLB team owner and promoter, so he didn't play. He owned and promoted. The sport.
So Major League Baseball. Okay.
Yep. Bill Veeck. That reminds me of what was it? Zeke from Cabin Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry West.
But that was basketball.
Logo. Yeah.
Oh, here we go again. 1944, Adolf Hitler ordered Paris to be destroyed. What? Wow. So he wanted to wipe Paris off the map. That's not too nice.
No.
Then again, he was he fought in the trenches, trying to get there. So it was probably like
Yeah.
You know,
Payback.
now we're here. Blah blah blah. Yeah, payback. You're right. 365 days later, in 1945, Noel Coward's review "Sigh No More" premiered in London. Wow. Something tells me he wasn't that brave. 1945 as well, Vietnam conflict began as Ho Chi Minh led a successful coup. Yep. And 1950, Aletha Gibson became the first black competitor in a U.S. national tennis competition. Nice. 1950.
1950,
Yeah. Well,
Well,
better that than later.
Absolutely. Well, the point being that tennis at one point, to some degree, still is an elitist sport.
Yeah.
Just to some very small degree today. That's really not even fair to say. But back then, it definitely was.
The same thing with golf courses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 1953, Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, returned to Tehran. Okay. Oh, he was the last Shah of Iran.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, they ran him off. That's when the Ayatollah came in, and the seed was planted by Jimmy Carter. That
was it a peanut seed?
Not according to the Shah, it wasn't. He convinced him that he should be a gentler and kinder man to his enemies and let him out of jail, stuff like that. That started his downfall. He couldn't even find. I mean, he was ruthless leader. I understand. I don't know for a fact, but he couldn't even find a country to live in. Finally, I think he ended up in Canada or the United States.
Of course, Canada.
Could have been here. I'm not sure.
Let's see here. He died at 60. Complications of Walter Sum's macroglobulinemia. What the hell is that?
Died of the glob.
It is a malignant disorder of the bone marrow and lymphatic tissues, a type of lymphoma, and characterized by the presence of abnormally large numbers of a particular kind of white blood cell known as B lymphocytes.
Cancer.
Cancer, yeah. Well, he was a cancer.
So, anyway, it doesn't matter where he lived.
Well,
I think the states finally took him in, but it could have been Canada.
Let's see here. He died in Egypt.
Oh, he got back to Egypt.
He was in Cairo, Egypt. Huh.
Well, maybe I'm completely all wet. I thought he came here because he had a hard time finding a country because he flew Iran. I mean, the Ayatollah's whole religious sect was after him. They wanted to kill him.
Well, while that wiki is loading, I'm going to take us up into 1956. Elvis Presley began filming "Love Me Tender" from the Reno Brothers, by the Reno Brothers, something involving the Reno Brothers.
I don't know the Reno Brothers.
I don't know either.
Love Me Tender. Know the song.
Let's see here. Revolution into Monarchy, Exile. His second exile. He traveled from country to country seeking what he hoped would be temporary residence. He first flew to Egypt, in Morocco, Bahamas, Mexico. You're right, he was everywhere.
Yeah. Hard time finding a country to take him in. Maybe we wouldn't take him in. Maybe that's what I remember.
I don't know. I'm going to add this link into the underbar, so if anybody interested may further their education on this awful man. Anyway, moving on up into 1956 as well. U.S. President Eisenhower and Vice President Richard Nixon was renominated by the Republican Convention in San Francisco. Wow, that's I find it hard to believe that the Republicans were in San Fran.
Yeah, different in the day.
Yeah. 1957, Olympic heavyweight boxing champion Pete Radmacher became the first to contest a world title in his first professional bout. He was knocked out by Floyd Patterson in the 6th round at Styx Stadium in Seattle. Oh, he's a boxing cowboy. He looks like a boxing cowboy, Like,
yeah,
straight up.
He's a pretty small heavyweight for the day.
Yeah, well, he looks little, 1959, Cincinnati Reds future Baseball Hall of Fame outfielder Frank Robinson hit 3 consecutive home runs, 6 runs, bats, innings, right?
Runs batted in.
Runs batted in. An 11-4 win over St. Louis Cardinals at Crossley Field. And no, I don't know I don't even remember what the term even was.
What's that?
The line or whatever, like the test I keep failing. So.
I don't remember. Well, it wasn't RBIs. We just did that one.
No, like it's a double, triple, something.
Oh, hit for the cycle.
Yeah, the cycle. I don't know the cycle. And I will not.
We're on the rinse cycle right now. We're flushing you out.
1960, Gil Hodges set National League right-handed home run record with number 352.
Gil Hodges, remember him playing for the Dodgers.
1961, New York Yankee Roger Maris hit his 50th of 61 homers.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Charles de Gaulle again.
Yeah.
1962, a failed assassination attempt on French President Charles de Gaulle. Wow, who would want to kill that guy? He's awesome.
You just like his hat.
No, like, well, yes, but like
I don't really know much about him politically, but
well, he started the Free French Resistance. Like when he was in exile, during the Second World War, he really pushed, to continue communications, send out, the codes and everything, and then start the resistance, against the Nazi occupiers.
Okay.
So like he really pushed that.
Okay.
And I would argue that if it wasn't for him, that would have never happened. Maybe D-Day might have even itself been a failure because of the French resistance. They blew up telephone lines. They blew up like rail lines. They caused a lot of disruption physically and communicationally.
Yeah.
So that was all because of this guy.
So he did it from outside, wherever he was,
in
England.
UK. Yeah, he was the French government in exile, being harbored in the UK. 1964, civil rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer spoke at the U.S. Democratic National Convention about her efforts to register to vote in Mississippi.
Something. Just 64 wasn't that long ago. She had a hassle apparently.
60 years, roughly. Actually, 58 right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, you see, I remember 64, so it's not that long ago.
Yeah. Well, for you, it was pretty much yesterday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's old.
Thanks. Thanks a lot.
But he's my old guy. So, my old dad. 1968, first Papal visited to Latin America. Pope Paul VI arrived in Bogota to open a Eucharistic Congress. What's Eucharistic? What's with these Roman Catholics and their Latin? Well, while that's loading, because for whatever reason the internet is laggy, gonna move on up into 1984. Met pitcher Dwight Gooden became the 11th rookie to strike out at 200, or to strike out 200.
Yeah, he struck out 200.
Why does he always look so mad? He looks like he's angry.
He's got an edge to him, I guess.
And then Eucharistic is a sacrament and the central act of worship in many Christian churches, which was instituted at the Last Supper, and in which bread and wine are consecrated and consumed in remembrance of Jesus' death. Communion, too, the consecrated elements of this rite, communion. Okay. So. Now, somebody actually did the math, and they figured out, because the cracker, is his body, and the blood is his wine. So, how much crackers and wine will it take to consume one entire Jesus? Somebody actually did the math, and it's like, you need X amount of pounds, of the crackers and everything because the common human body at the time weighed this and that. They actually put in calculations. And so there is a quantifiable number now to, if you do so desire, to consume one whole entire Jesus Christ.
I think I had too much free time, obviously.
1984 as well, Republican convention in Dallas renominated President Ronald Reagan and Vice President George Herbert Walker Bush.
Read my lips.
Read my lips.
I will not raise taxes.
I will not. Let me guess, he did.
That was George Bush when he ran for president.
Yeah. Read my lips. Yeah.
That's what became a famous saying. Read my lips.
Read my lips. I will lie to you for votes. 1986, Stand By Me, a film based on the novella by Stephen King, directed by Rob Reiner and starring Will Wheaton. River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, and Jerry O'Connell was released. 1987, Madonna's Who's That Girl single went to number 1. Alright.
Okay.
That's interesting. She's wearing a cross. I didn't think she was a Christian.
I have no clue.
Later. 1989, Nolan Ryan struck out his 5,000th batter, who was Ricky Henderson.
Oh.
He doesn't look too happy
Mr.
about
Speed.
it. Yeah.
Guy, Ricky Henderson, I think he broke the stolen base record. At one point, if memory serves me correct. Yeah, I think.
Remind me to tell you a basketball joke.
Okay.
I can't say it on camera because it's not politically correct. So, 1990, U.S. President George H.W. Bush called up military reserves. Sounds like gearing up for Operation Desert Storm right there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, that was 94, right? 93?
I can't remember an exact year, but yeah, it's
When
right in
was
there.
Desert
I think it was
Storm?
94.
90. August.
Oh, wow.
It's already going on. August 2nd, 1990.
Well, that's why he's bringing them up. It's going to be bigger than he figured.
Yeah. Well, that's when it
I
started.
didn't realize it was that early.
Wow. So I was only like
I was
4
gonna
years
say
old.
94, 95.
No, that's too late.
Yeah, obviously.
So I was thinking 94, 93. So
Yeah.
anyway, 1992, Greg Matthews, 4 out of 76, and Shane Warne, 3 out of 11, spin Australia to a famous 16-run win versus Sri Lanka in first cricket test in Colombo. Good cricket.
We just find it's cricket and move on. Ban cricket from the show.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Prejudice. What can I tell you?
I tell you what, I'm about ready to ban Wimbledon from the show.
God.
1994, DNA testing linked O.J. Simpson to the murder of Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I have never seen anything so
Blatantly
split black and white. What you believed if you were black, as a general rule.
Yeah.
And what you believed if you were white. Amazing.
Yeah.
And we all saw the same facts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. 2004, The Scream, 1910 painted version, and Madonna, 2 paintings by Edvard Munch, were stolen at gunpoint from the Munich Museum in Oslo, Norway. Oh God. It's your mouse pad.
Yeah. Used to be.
Yep. I don't know what happened to it.
Rotted.
Oh,
Finally.
that's
The age got it.
Yeah. 2004, U.S. sprinter Justin Gatlin won the coveted Olympic 100-meter gold medal in Athens in 9.85 seconds, ahead of Francis Obikwelu of Portugal and U.S. Maurice Green. Obikwelu. That sounds like the noise a plunger makes. Obikwelu, you know.
Carrying that name around probably slowed him down by a hundredth of a second.
Yeah, yeah. That name's a real drag, you know.
Yeah.
2008, the Jamaican team, led by the one and only Usain Bolt, smashed the world 4x100-meter relay record in the final at the Beijing Olympics. It was later disqualified in 2017 as NASA charter test positive for prohibited substance. Dang. So the team itself was disqualified because of that other guy.
All you need is one.
That sucks.
Yeah.
2018, just 4 years ago, Forbes said George Clooney made more money in a single year at $239 million than any actor ever, at $239 million again, due to sale of alcohol company, followed by Dwayne Johnson's $124 million. Okay, so they rounded. That's not fair. Like, he's the highest paid actor, but like now he's ahead of second place Dwayne Johnson here by leaps and bounds, but still, like, anything outside of acting should not be counted as what that actor makes for that record, at least, because he sold his alcohol company, George Clooney, which I didn't know he had an alcohol company. But
I think they're just saying the most money made by an actor. It's not saying that for acting he may have made $250 million and not made a movie that year, but you're still an actor.
Yeah. 2021, Josephine Baker would be the first black woman to be interred in the Pantheon in Paris, according to the French government. Why does it say Why does it say that in the future sense? Which this is the past.
Yeah.
They will be the first black woman. Okay.
Poorly wrote. What can I tell you?
Sometimes, oh God.
This gets a reaction out of you, doesn't she?
I see that face. It's just like, like, answer the question, you airheaded ditty. You know. 2021, just last year, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris arrived in Singapore to begin a short visit to Southeast Asia. You know.
What? Stop.
Anyway, before we move on into births and deaths, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most?
There was a couple, yeah. One, the woman at the 60 convention, or at the 64, 62 convention, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, for
and,
the
and having the hassle of what she had to go through to vote in, I think it was Tennessee, but it doesn't tell what year she had that hassle. But still, it's kind of sad.
It was well, I believe it was that same year because you won't wait several years and then complain about it. You'll try to vote and be like, oh hey, look at what I just went through.
Well, you can tell your story.
Yeah. That's true.
But still, it's still disturbing. And there's a couple others that right now I'm not bringing back to memory.
What about the first sighting of Nessie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 565.
Jeez.
Yep. So that's been going on for quite some time. Although, who knows, there might have been a plesiosaur back then because, take, for example, the coelacanth. We believe that died out 5, 6 some odd million years ago or even longer. And then they found it off the coast of, in Indonesia or something. It's a literal, living fossil. Do you know what the coelacanth even looks like?
No.
It's a crazy fish. Let's see here. Oh, give me the fish. If I want to click. Alright, well, there we go. Look at that. Do you see it?
Yeah.
It's a weird looking fish. Look at that thing.
Almost look like armor,
Yeah, well, it is. And they're big too. Look at the size of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on up into births, we have Aimé Bonpland, born on this date in 1773. He was a French explorer and botanist who traveled with Alexander von Humboldt. He was born in La Rochelle, France. Birth date is disputed. He died in 1858. So this might not even be his birth date.
Why do they have him on there if it's disputed?
Well, not everything. Well,
yeah.
Practically every aspect of history is always disputed. It's fluid.
True.
Look at what's going on today. What they're trying to do, tearing down all the statues. Stuff like that. We have Claude Debussy in 1862. He was a French composer, La Mer Clair de Lune, born in Saint-Germain-en-Laye, France, dying in 1918.
Huh.
We have Dorothy Parker, born in 1893, an American short story writer. 1958, made Marjorie Peabody Award, born in Long Branch, New Jersey, dying in 1967. Look at that hair. That's a weird hair.
And she's born when? Okay, 1890.
1893.
That's at 63.
No.
Wow. How old was she?
4 years old, and she was a short story writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leni Riefenstahl, 1902. Actual name is Helen Bertha Amalie. Was a German film director, Triumph of the Will, and an actress in Typhling. Born in Berlin, Germany, dying in 2003. Wow, so that's 101 years. Ooh. 1902 to 2003.
Yeah. You almost lived through the entire
century. Yeah, man. 1904, we have Deng Xiaoping. He was a Chinese revolutionary and paramount leader of China from 1978 through 92. Born in Guang'an, Sichuan, dying in 1997. Henri Cartier-Bresson, 1908, was a French photographer famous for the decisive moment, born in the Chanteloup-en-Brie, France, dying in 2004. The decisive moment. So, Henri Cartier-Bresson. So let's see here.
So he didn't...
Oh, is this it? Yeah. So this is, This is what was this? This was I think some hostage situation or something.
Oh.
Let's see, 1942. Let's see, 1961. Here we go. Released prisoner of war Lieutenant Colonel Robert L. Strim was greeted by his family at Travis Air Force Base in Fairfield, California, as he returned home from the Vietnam War. Some guy coming home from Vietnam.
Yeah, okay.
So this is a decisive moment, apparently. So.
Pure joy in that picture.
Yeah. Yep. We have Mel Hine, born on this date in 1909. He was a U.S. NFL center for the New York Giants, born in Redding, California, dying in 1992. Man, like look at that uniform. Like no pads, no anything.
Yeah.
You know, today's football players, like they're ready to go into a war zone.
Yeah.
You know, with the armor that they're wearing. And you have like 300-pound linebackers coming at you like trains. You know,
back when he played in the NFL, it was nothing. College football was everything, and NFL pro football was just kind of a side event.
Now, do you want to know something interesting? In World War II, U.S. tankers wore football helmets.
Oh yeah,
these football helmets,
the
old style. You know, because they were just leather caps. You know, like, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even call them helmet. Like,
no, they weren't. They were leather.
Yeah. Who else was born on this date? Norman Schwarzkopf, 1934, a U.S. Army general and commander of coalition forces in the Gulf War, born in Trenton, New Jersey, dying in 2012.
Schwarzkopf, yep.
Schwarzkopf. Yep. Carl Yastrzemski, 1939, a U.S. baseball...
Carl Yastrzemski.
What?
Carl Yastrzemski.
Yastrzemski.
There you go.
Well, where's the U?
I don't know. Why is U? Sometimes it's pronounced that way.
All right. He was a U.S.
I'm going to call him and tell you that I'm right.
I don't think he's around. So, he was a U.S. Baseball Hall of Fame left fielder, first baseman, and 18-time MLB All-Star, born in Southampton, New York. Yeah, he is alive.
He's still around.
So I guess
80-something.
Well, I guess you can call it him. So, I will eat my words.
Played for the hated Boston Red Sox.
1941, we have Dwayne Bill Parcells, a U.S. NFL coach from 1993 to 2006. That's a long career. Two-time Super Bowl wins, New York Giants, New England Patriots, New York Jets, and the Dallas Cowboys, born in Inglewood, New Jersey. So
he was known for taking bad teams and making them champions.
So he went from New York, well, New York is in New England, this general area, and then eventually he just went to Texas.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's all over the place.
Well, he was New York, New England, New York, and then Texas. Like, 1956, we have Paul Molitor, is a U.S. baseball infielder, 7-time Major League Baseball All-Star Milwaukee Brewers, World Series MVP of 1993 Toronto Blue Jays, born in St. Paul, Minnesota. Minnesota.
Don't you know?
Yeah. Too bad Alice isn't here. Otherwise, she'd be like, "Oh, Minnesota! Hey, about that jibber jabber,
Let's go play some hockey."
Yeah, and eat some cheese. 1964, which, by the way, every now and then, sometimes intentional, but you know me with my memory.
Yeah.
I've several times said, be like, "Oh, blah blah, you're from Wisconsin."
Oh.
And then she's just like. She gets all mad. How dare you? Like, okay, Minnesota, whatever. Like, you're the Great Lakes states. You're in that general vicinity. Oh man, you accuse her of being from Wisconsin. She will fight you. 1964, Mats Wilander is a Swedish tennis player, 7-time Grand Slam winner, born in Vaxjo, Sweden. It's a weird name, Vaxjo.
The way you pronounced it the first time, it was a little suspect that you said something else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some Indians out there, and their first name is VJ, So,
yeah.
It's not like I'm saying, any nasty words. So, let's see here. Who else was born on this date? Dua Lipa in 1995, a British Kosovo Albanian pop singer, songwriter, New Rules and One Kiss, born in London. That's an interesting fabric right there, whatever that is. honestly.
Is that a dress or is that a blanket?
I don't know. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. What's going on
Then moving on up into deaths, we have Stilicho, died on this date in 408. Flavius Stilicho was a West Roman field leader from 395 through 408. He was executed at the age of 48.
Whoops.
Oh, whoops. Executed. After many years of victories against a number of enemies, a series of political and military disasters resulted in his arrest and subsequent execution. Yep.
So produce or die.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Once you fall out of favor, you're gone. 1485, we lost Richard III. He was a king of England from 1483 through 85. Wow. So 2 years.
Not long.
Yeah. Killed at the Battle of Bosworth Field at 32.
Was he the last one?
Yeah, he was the last, leader to go into battle with the troops he commands.
Yeah.
You know, what a novel concept. You send
He
people.
died. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. What a novel concept. You lead men in a battle to their deaths. The very least thing you should do is, go out there and fight with them.
Yeah.
And we saw the Patton movie the other night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, we saw Patton, and he had I liked his idea. The old ways, everything he said. Patton in his tank, Rommel in his. And then they just duke it out, and whoever wins the war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. Although I don't think Patton would have been on the winning end of that. A Sherman versus a Tiger.
Yeah, that would have been tough.
No. 1903, Robert Gascoigne Cecil, 3rd Marquis of Salisbury, British Prime Minister for the Conservative Party, 1885 through 86, 1886 through 92, and 1895 through 1902. Died at 73. That's a strange political stint right there. 1 year, and then another, 8 years, and then 7. So, that's weird.
Well, they get a vote of no confidence. They have a different way to do things.
Oh, that is true. The no confidence thing and all that one. Yeah. 1922, we lost Michael Collins. He was an Irish revolutionary leader and leading figure in the struggle for Irish independence in the early 20th century. He was killed in an ambush by anti-treaty forces during the Irish Civil War at the age of 31.
Over here we just don't hear much about the Irish history and all the battles they had.
Yeah.
And everything going on. We just don't get that.
Mm-hmm. Remind me about that after the show. There's somebody I know who actually has some involvement
really?
with the IRA.
Oh, wow.
It's just through blood. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
makes it interesting. That makes it come to life.
Yeah. 1978, Jomo Kenyatta. He was the first Prime Minister of Kenya from 63 to 78, and he died at the age of 83. So wow. So his country's name is in his name, Kenyatta, first Prime Minister of Kenya. Kenyatta. Yeah. Jomo Kenyatta. Jomo. Something. I don't know.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. And that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the link, you can check the underbar of the description for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to everything Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time. For all of you and all of us, I am A.O. Xander.
I'm Me Cleaver.
And you, of course, are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles. Let's go, Brandon.